As you prepare for your wine tasting, there are a few things that you want to make sure you have on hand at every event. You want to create some sort of document, whether it's in a folder such as this, that talks about our wine club. Our wine club is the best value that Traveling Vineyard offers. And you want to be able to provide them with information they can look at as you talk about the wine club. I keep a folder that has a sample of our wine club newsletter. So when you're a wine club member, you get wine lessons that get emailed to you. They have great facts on the wines you're going to be receiving, some fun facts about wine, and then they have some great recipes. You want to put together at least one book like this. That way you can pass it around to all of your guests to better explain the benefits of joining the wine club. Another document or packet that would be helpful to put together would be information on any specials we have going on. If we have any bundle packages going on, print out a copy and put it in this folder. You can then print out our detailed version of our wine inventory list. I would not put this in all of the guest folders because it will eat up a lot of paper and a lot of ink. However, if you put together about 4 of these packets, you should be set. At the end of the wine tasting, you can pass these out and let everybody know what's in this packet. Let them know it's our special bundles or any specials we have going on. And then let them know it is a detailed version of our wine inventory list, which includes all the fun labels because everybody's curious about that. And then it gives more details on all of the wines that we have available right now. You'll also want to put together a special host packet that will have a little bit different information than what your guest packet has. I chose to have a sparkly, fun, outrageous folder for my hosts. That way they feel special and kind of singled out and everybody gets excited and wants to know what is in the sparkly folder. So for all of my hosts, I will put more information about becoming a wine guide because your hosts are the most likely people to join your team and they're definitely the most curious. I will put in more detailed information about our wine club and our gifting wine club option. I will then put in there our current wine inventory list, any specials we have, the accessory list, the host and guest rewards, as well as the responsible hosting letter. In case you haven't already collected that, you have a copy in there for them to sign the night of the event to take home with you for your records. You'll also need to put together some guest packets. There are several different ways you can do this. You can use folders. You can create your own lap boards, which would be taking a binder, cutting it in half, and then you'd have 2 lap boards. Or you can use clipboards. I purchased these clipboards at the dollar store. They work great because it helps you balance if you've got a plate of food. It's easy to write on. So I've used the clipboards. Now what I'm putting in the clipboards, and I have everything in sheet protectors, and then I pass out dry erase markers. That way I'm saving on printing. I'm not having to print documents at every tasting event. They can write all over these and all I do is wipe it off with the eraser. So the top sheet, I include the wine tasting guide. This is where all of your guests can keep track of the different wines we are trying that night, circle their thoughts on that wine, and they would bring this to you at checkout. That way you can go over what wines they enjoyed or want to know more about. I also include our accessory list. That way they can see everything that we have available for accessory items. I include the current wine inventory list. Not the detailed version, but just the version that has the name of the wines, the price, where it came from. And then they can circle as I'm talking about other wines if it's something they're interested in. I also include our guest reward items. I include the host rewards as well. That way, as they begin to think about hosting their own tasting, they can see what goodies they have available to them. The last thing I put in there is the wine club document, which talks about our different wine club options. That would be the guest folder. I also include a binder that I use myself at my events. This binder will have all of my script, my notes to follow along for the wine tasting. That way I stay on track and make sure I touch base on everything I'd like to talk about. So that's my presentation script. It also includes the all wines document, which I keep updated in the Aficionado Facebook group page under files. And it has all of our wines, also includes the code, the wine, color, body, bouquet, taste, food to pair it with, and personal thoughts. This is what helps guide me through the wine tasting event. I also include the all pairings document, which I also update in that same section of the Facebook group page. And this has the different pairings that go with the wines. That way if I need to reference back at any point, I've got it handy. I also include more information about wine. This document can be found in your tasting room. Talks about the different steps to tasting wine in more details. A nice handy reference to have, especially as you begin as a wine guide. And then I include a printout of every single wine that we have in the wine notes. That way, as I begin as a wine guide, or if new wines come and I haven't had them yet, I can reference back here to help my guests better understand them. Or I can just give them this binder and say, take a look, read a little bit more about this wine and see if it's something you'd enjoy. So this is my binder that I use as I go through my wine tasting events. I also keep a separate binder that has everything I might need to know or need to have at a wine tasting event. I have a printout of our wine list, of the host and guest rewards, the accessory list. I have some host packets put together that I give to my hosts that are interested in booking a wine tasting. I include several copies of the interest to order forms, the ITOs. I usually keep at least 30 in here. That way I have plenty at my wine tasting events. I include more information about the wine club in case somebody wants to take a flyer home with them. And then I have all of the shipping information, what states we can ship to, and more detailed shipping information in case somebody is purchasing wine as a gift for somebody and they want it shipped somewhere else. I've got all that information handy that I can provide to them. So those are the documents that you'll want to take or have some sort of variation of that at your wine tasting events. The other document or item that I take to my wine tasting events are opportunity wine glasses. As I go through the wine tasting, I always make mention several times at the event about becoming a wine guide. So I create opportunity wine glasses. It's a dollar store wine glass filled with more information about becoming a wine guide, and of course some dark chocolate because everybody loves dark chocolate.